You're watching Bears basketball with Jared and Lisa on the SVI Sports Network.
And welcome to Preston High School Bear Lake girls basketball in a Franklin County night on a foggy night in Bear Lake, but a beautiful day over here in Preston. Ready to take on the Preston Indians. Got about 20 minutes before tip-off. This JV team just wrapped up. The Bears JV won that game. I think the final score was 35-19, if I remember right. Over in the other gym, they're actually playing the C team at the same time, something that the athletic director did not notice and got the bus over here way too early. But the C team wrapping up in Preston's old gym right now. The JV just wrapped up here in the new gym. And the Bear Lake girls are about to take the court. Preston out here warming up already. And we're ready for some basketball. These two teams, old rivals, Bear Lake and Preston, used to play each other all the time back in the day when this old man was in high school. Preston and Bear Lake were in the same league. And then they moved up in the early 2000s to 4A. And Bear Lake moved down to 2A. So for a long time, there were two divisions between us. Now, with the Bears moving back up to what is now 4A and Preston being 5A, only one division. And we decided to get together for some girls basketball and boys basketball both this year. And so the Bears playing here tonight. There's not a return trip because there was a scheduling conflict. We had to cancel the return trip. So it's just the one time these two teams are going to match up this year. In the way too early to take them seriously Max Preps rankings, Bear Lake is currently ranked number 1 in the state for 4A. But there's only 4 teams ranked right now. So, like I said, the way too early rankings, you have to have played 5 games to be included in the rankings. And Bear Lake is one of the only 4 teams that has played and recorded 5 games by the time the rankings came out, and Bear Lake is ranked number 1 in the state. Preston is also one of those other teams that has played enough games to be ranked. I think they're number 4 in 5A, and the way the rankings work in football and basketball over the years, if you paid attention to Max Preps, as I've talked about it, is you subtract the scores, the higher number from the lower number, and the what you get is how the game should go. That's what I'm trying to say, how the game should go. So the team with the lower number is the underdog, and right now in this game tonight, Bear Lake would be like a 7 or 8 point favorite. But it's the way too early in the season to take them seriously, Max Prep rankings, so we're not going to take that too seriously until we see what happens out on the court. But Bear Lake has had a great start to the season. Both teams are actually 4-1 on the season. And Bear Lake Bears' one loss came to Sugar Salem, and that was in overtime. And Sugar Salem is one of the better teams in the state. So that's a loss that's not hurting Bear Lake too much right now. And the win that's helping Bear Lake a whole lot right now is Malad, who is playing very well at the 3A level. And Bear Lake took care of business pretty handily early in the season when they met. And so that's helping Bear Lake a lot as Malad continues to win. It makes that win look better and better for the Bear Lake Bears. So that's the what we can tell you as far as the rankings and the way too early to take them seriously rankings. The Bear Lake Bears playing well right now. And this is their only game this week. They started the season strong with 5 games. They got 1 this week. Next week they have off. And then they'll go to the Green River Tournament and play 3 more games there before Christmas break. And then during Christmas break they play a couple of games. And so by the time the new year starts, the season will be half over for the Bear Lake girls. And so a quick start to the season. The boys, 0-2 on the year. They dropped a tough one last night in overtime at home versus Grace. They play tomorrow night in Bear Lake again with Teton coming to town. Meanwhile, the wrestlers in action today and tomorrow up in American Falls for the boys and Grace. The girls wrestled in Grace today, and they have tomorrow off. The girls wrestling team was in Grace today for a tournament. So the wrestlers getting started, their boys basketball getting started this week, girls basketball right in the middle of things, and lots going on in this early December fog. What else are you going to do but watch some basketball? So we're glad you're with us. Lisa just a little bit under the weather again, so it'll just be Nate and I on the mic. We actually got a headset on Ray over there running the camera so he can listen to us tonight. He said I offered to let him do some commentary, and he put his mic up above his head and said, "You probably don't want to hear what he has to say on the air." But anyway, so Nate and I on the call for tonight's game here from Preston High School. Beautiful facility they have over here. If anybody wants to donate a few $1 million to Bear Lake School District, this is how I want my gym designed in my dreams. This is my dream gymnasium.
I think the only thing that they could do better here is more power outlets, because this is the actual only spot in the gym that gets power, according to the media guys. So you don't want to do a broadcast from anywhere else. Basically, not the greatest of camera angles tonight, just because you're close to the floor, but it's pretty good nonetheless. I still like this place. That's the only slight complaint. Everything else is great.
So going back to the famous district championship game in this gym, the year that the Bears won state, when the winning shot over West Side that won the district tournament, nobody saw it. Because, do you remember that?
Yeah, you stood in front of the camera.
I stood up in front of the camera.
Doofus.
I had to. I didn't realize I was standing in front of the camera, but I had to stand up to see the shot go in because everybody in front of me was standing up. So, yes, I stood up in front of the camera like a doofus, but it's only because if I wouldn't have done that, I wouldn't have seen what would happen, and we would have had to guess who won the game.
I just remember seeing that, and I was like, everybody wants to see the game-winning shot, but we all just got a picture of Jared.
It was
so funny. That was a fun night, though.
It was a fun night.
That was a great time.
We've had a lot of great games in this gym. They've usually been district championship games, as this is the neutral court in the past. So we've had a lot of great games in here over the years. So 12 minutes left before tip-off on the Insert Your Sponsorship Here pregame show on the SVI Sports Network. If you got a business that you'd like to sponsor the pregame show, get your word out there. Feel free to contact Lisa next week and say, hey, give me the deets. I want to be a sponsor on the Insert Your Sponsorship Here pregame show on the SVI Sports Network. And the girls off to a great start. And just looking around the rest of the district, Snake River off to a rough start. American Falls off to kind of a rough start. Marsh Valley, their start has not been fabulous either. The Bear Lake girls are actually, well, look at that. I just started up the iPad to take the score for the game, and the picture that came up, the memory that came up, was the district championship game we were just talking about in this gym. Because our youngest son, Gabe, was on that team, and there you go. Not that any of you can see it, but that doesn't matter. It's still a cool memory, and it just is what we were talking about in the moment. So, as I was talking about, the district looks like Bears should have a legitimate chance to do well in the district this year, as the other teams in the district struggling as the season starts. And Bear Lake has a chance to do some damage. So we're looking forward to that. And tonight they get a chance to prove themselves against the Preston Indians over here. Preston, very experienced team with 4 seniors on the roster. And a couple of juniors, only one sophomore. Bear Lake Bears, a very experienced team, where they brought back all but 2 players from last year's state championship team. So Bear Lake has a very experienced roster as well. And we're going to take a quick break and do some, administrative work here. I don't know what I was trying to say.
Behind the
scenes work to get ready for the game. We still got about 10 minutes before tip-off on this Friday night from Preston, Idaho. Bear Lake girls taking on the Preston Indians. We'll be back with more of the Insert Your Sponsorship Here pregame show right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
boys with the helpful hardware, folks.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier, online at bearlakedental.com, or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign the papers and they leave and they're happy, they get the cows. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
You're watching Bears basketball with Jared and Lisa on the SVI Sports Network.
High school, live back here at Preston High School. Bear Lake Bears heading to take on the Preston Indians. Beautiful gymnasium here, and both teams are wearing blue and white, so it just makes us feel at home. We played a lot of teams to start this season on the girls' side of things in blue. And Preston Indians again blue. They have yellow as an accent color. Obviously the Bears just go with the blue and white. Use black and gray as their accent colors. And these girls have a much needed break next week. They got the season started quickly and give them a chance to heal up the sore and aching muscles that you get after playing a few games, especially a busy week last week. Boys, hopefully they're healing up today because they're back in action tomorrow night like we already talked about versus Teton. What we know about Teton for the boys is they are big. They are a very tall team and a big, strong team, and it should be a great test for the boys at home. Looking at it down here at the Preston lineup, very similar size to the Bear Lake Bears. Bears should be fine defensively, size-wise against Preston, but then again, with Hallie Wells and Peyton Crockett in the lineup, Bears are going to be just as tall or close to as tall as most teams that are going to play at this level in Idaho. In this area, they're both very tall, very talented young ladies. The Bears have done very well on the interior this year with those two on the floor. So size-wise, should be a pretty good matchup. Athleticism, it looks like very similar as I'm watching warm-ups, although it's hard to judge. When it's just warm-ups, it's really hard to know what's going to happen. And some names that you're going to recognize, some last names. If you've paid attention to Preston over the years, there is a Wakely on the team and a couple of Knaps on the team. And they're not Brent Knapp. He's the athletic director that taught in Bear Lake for a while. He's the athletic director over here. Not his daughters, but probably his nieces, I'm guessing. So some very Preston names on the roster for the Preston girls as we get ready to start things tonight on what looks like it's pajama night. Looking at the six-man over there. Nate, you'd fit right in. Okay, so you're not in pajamas, you're in shorts, but you know.
It's not pajamas. If it was dressed like a garbage can night, there'd be a lot of BYU T-shirts over there, Jared.
Wow, Nate. I've been so nice to you today.
I apologize about that one. It had to be done. I had to throw you out there, man.
Anyway,
I try to be professional, but every now and again we just gotta make fun of Jared. It's just so easy.
So the texted topic this morning that we were going to do, if you were listening to our show, and then I backed out of it the last second and changed it, and probably should have done, is they say there's no such thing as too much is a good thing. So my question was going to be, I don't believe that statement. Some things are better in small doses. And do you know what my first answer was going to be, Nate?
I want to know.
You were my thing that was going to be better in small doses. Too much of you and yeah. And then I was so nice to you. I changed the text and topic so I could be nice to you on the air this morning, and then this is how you treat me. Anyway, Bear Lake versus Preston from Preston High School. And Coach Wells trying to continue his winning ways. Bear Lake Bears state champions last year and looking to get back to state. bumping up to, it says a lot about these girls. Bears bumping up to a new level, bumping up to the 4A. And in volleyball, they did just fine, bringing home the state championship trophy. And Coach Wells is trying to replicate that with basketball, saying, hey, we can bump up, we can play at the higher level, we can still win. And if the game against Sugar Salem is any indication, the Bears proved that they can play with the best teams in the state.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this team's battle-tested. A lot of experienced players on this team. I think that they can give anybody in this state a run for their money. I think there's a lot of experience on this team, just a lot of talent. I mean, young girls, underclassmen, seniors, any of them. All of them can perform at any point in time, you know. A lot of senior leadership out there like Emery Walker, Taisley Neal, and Sadie Shaw, but you've also got, you know, the sophomore in the middle. You've got Hallie Wells underneath. So she does a great job as well. So, I mean, it's anybody on any given night. And that just reminds me a lot of the state championship boys team that won football and basketball in the same year. Just kind of the same idea. A lot of veteran leadership, a lot of young guys stepping up. It's just a good mix. Great team.
Yeah, and the Bears do have that good mix. You've got not only the 3 seniors that start, but Julie Saxon, one of the first girls off the bench, also provides some senior leadership when she comes in. And then it's kind of been fun. Only 2 girls left this team due to graduation last year, and 2 of the girls have stepped up to take their role. Peyton Crockett and Cortland Skinner have played outstanding basketball in this early season. So Bears haven't missed a beat, even though they miss, obviously, Alyssa and Lily. Their leadership, their experience, you're always going to miss them in that way. But as far as talent on the court, these girls have stepped up and filled in very admirably so far early in the season. So you got that senior leadership, you got the good young talent, 4 returning starters from the state championship team a year ago. And the Bears are off to a great start. So, Nate, give me a key to the game. I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your key to the game for tonight?
I mean, I think with Preston, we don't know a lot about this team. So, to me, my key to the game is figure out their identity early. You've got to come out and figure out, okay, are they, extending the ball? Are they shooting 3-point shots? Are they working the ball inside? And then whatever you've got to do, you've got to do everything you can to shut them down defensively. I'm sure they've watched plenty of film on this team. I have not, so I'd imagine coming into this game, they're just going to come out, try to figure out what kind of an offense this is, what kind of a team it is, put their foot on the gas early, especially from the defensive end, and I think they're just going to try to take care of business as easily as possible tonight.
My key to the game is going to be very related. You know, while we're waiting to figure out who Preston is, don't forget who you are. Mm-hmm. Bear Lake needs to play Bear Lake basketball and come out, and their identity is being a very stout defense that doesn't allow a lot of points and doesn't allow a lot of second chance points, especially. Come out, play that tenacious defense, push the ball up the court when you get the opportunity, and that's what we're going to look for tonight. And the flag coming out of the ceiling, we're about to have the national anthem, and then we're going to get started on this beautiful Friday night from Preston High School. All right, flags back up in the ceiling. We're ready for basketball from Preston High School. Bear Lake Bears set to take on the Preston Indians. And the starting lineups for tonight's game for the Bear Lake Bears. You know her very well by now. Senior Sadie Shaw. She is a 5'5" senior wearing number 2. Bears in their royal blue road uniform trimmed in white with black numerals. Very sharp looking uniforms. Number 10, Taisley Neal. She is a 5'5" senior. Number 11, Emery Walker. She is a 5'5" senior. Then you got number 24, Peyton Crockett, 5'10" junior. And number 32, Big Hallie Wells, 6'1" sophomore. I say big just because she's tall, 6'1". And she has played a lot of basketball already in her career. Started all year last year as a freshman, and now starting as a sophomore. Starting for the Preston Indians, number 10, Taylor Wakely. She is a junior. Number 11, Dottie Keller. She is also a junior. Number 13, Addie Romney. She is a senior. Number 14, senior Brightly. There is a T in there. Brightly Harris. And number 23, senior Ellie Nelson are your starters. So they start 3 seniors, 4 and 2 juniors start for the Preston Indians. And we're ready for some basketball. Hallie Wells will step into the center court circle to get this one started off for the Bear Lake Bears. And stepping in there for Preston, looks like it's going to be number 23, Nelson. So Wells versus Nelson for the opening tip. And we're ready for basketball on the SVI Sports Network. Bear Lake Bears, Preston Indians, balls in the air, tip and controlled by Preston. And that is Wakely with it. Wakely will come into the front court. Recognize her from volleyball. During the volleyball year. As the ball goes inside, quick jump ball. Bear Lake will get possession as Emery Walker gets the steal. During volleyball season, Preston was in Bear Lake's district, so these kids have played each other in the volleyball arena a couple times this year already. Neal to Shaw. Shaw, the center court circle. Dribble handoff to Neal on the elbow. Neal going to dribble across the top, go to Hallie Wells, top of the key. Wells now over to Shaw. Shaw down the lane, tries to bounce, pass it inside to Wells. It's kicked back out. Shaw gets it. She'll go down the lane, loop it up, no good. And rebound to Preston. Preston quickly in the front court. And Wakely a little bit too far under, tipped out of bounds. It will be Preston basketball. Neal on the tip. Wakely put up a good shot attempt there, but she's just a little bit too far underneath the hoop to get it to go. And the first shot of the game for each team is a miss. Driving attempt in there and no good. Great defense. That was Romney with the shot attempt, and the great defense to not allow it. And let's see, it's out of bounds. It's going to be Preston basketball as the Bears lose it in the corner, and the Indians will bring the ball into the front court. Bears will set up a little bit of a press. 0-0 ball game, just over a minute left. This is the way in the first quarter. This is the way the games have gone this far for the Bear Lake Bears. Is a lot of low-scoring games as Emery Walker knocks away, but Wakely gets it right back. She hands it to Romney. Walker again with it on the floor, and Walker finally gets it out to Neal. Neal tries to get it to Shaw. It's kicked under there by Harris. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. 32-second shot clock. Bears will have it underneath, and that was a good move there by Harris to kick that ball. Otherwise, Bears would have had an easy layup as the pass comes into Wells, and then she goes to Crockett. It's knocked away from Crockett as she went up from behind, and that was Harris again that saved the easy bucket. But it still stays Bear Lake basketball as it goes out of bounds off of Harris. So Walker will inbound. Still plenty of time on the shot clock. 27 seconds as Wells. Foul line jumper up and in. Wells gets the first 2 of the game. And we got an injury. I didn't see anything happen. I believe that's Romney that's down on the court. And we're going to take a 30-second break. We'll come back. Hopefully she'll be okay right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
So Romney limps off the court. Hopefully she's okay. And we're back to live action. 2-0. Bear Lake in the lead. Wakely all the way to the hoop and a little bit too strong, and it's going to be tipped out of bounds. It'll still stay Preston basketball. Neal did a good job on knocking that one away on the rebound. Wakely comes in all the way into the backcourt with it, and it's Harris that will bring the ball into the front court now. Harris over to Wakely. Wakely inside. And now cross court and knocked away by Emery Walker. She's done a lot of that in this game today. And it's just knocked out of bounds. This time Keller will trigger. She comes in to Harris. Now to Wakely. Wakely drives, hands it off to Marlowe, who came in there during the injury. Ball's knocked away by Shaw, taken away by Shaw. She just took it right out of the hands of Keller all the way to the other end. She's fouled on the layup attempt. She'll go line. She'll shoot two. Shaw just took that ball away, and it was a good effort there by Keller to run her down from behind and make her earn it from the foul line. So Sadie Shaw to the foul line for the first time in the game. And attempt to score from the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line. Jacobson Mountain Air, for all your heating and air conditioning needs in the Bear Lake Valley, call Jacobson Mountain Air. And that is foul shot number one. Good for Shaw. She'll have another. And she misses that one. Rebound comes to Nelson, so the Bears lead it by a score of 3-0 on your Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, you can count on them to care. Wakely gets it to Harris. Harris back to Wakely. Now to Nelson, top of the key. Back to Harris. Harris dribbles all the way across, down the middle, shot up, and no good. Rebound to Hallie Wells. Quickly, she outlets it to Shaw. Shaw will smartly slow it up. Give it to Neal on the elbow. Neal goes around the screen, pick and roll. And Wells didn't roll as far as Neal thought she would, so it's a turnover as the ball goes out of bounds. Wells almost saved it. Wakely coming into the front court. Bears putting on some defense, some pressure. Nelson has the ball tipped away on her attempted pass, and it's taken away by Wells up court to Crockett, and then they're going to consult. They can call a travel, they can call a foul. Let's see which one they do call. As Crockett went to Wells. Wells is lining up to shoot foul shots, and I think that's what they're going to. They were consulting to see if it was on the shot or on the ground. They call that one on Wakely. The student section asking for a replay. They wanted to be traveling instead of a foul. So Wells at the foul line, and she makes the first. So the Bears 2 out of 3 on the night. 4-0 is your score, as the Indians have not scored. We're just over 3 minutes in, and Wells has a chance to increase the Bear Lake lead, and she does. So the Bears 3 out of 4 from the foul line. They have the lead 5-0. As Wakely and Harris in the backcourt with it, playing catch. And now in the front court, it goes to, that is Marlowe. And then they're going to call a foul on Bear Lake. Marlowe lost the ball out of bounds. Shaw came up with it, but they call the foul on Emery Walker. Walker's first. Harris with it. She'll walk it into the front court. And then they get it underneath to Wakely. Three-pointer on the way from Keller. She misses. Rebound goes to Peyton Crockett. Crockett gets it to Shaw. And Shaw brings it in the front court. She's going to go all the way to the hoop. Shoot, miss, about a 12-foot runner, and it comes off to Harris. Harris quickly up ahead to Wakely. Wakely to Keller. Shots blocked by Wells, but Keller gets the rebound. Then Crockett takes away from her. They're going to call the jump ball. Great defense. The Bears have thwarted several fast break opportunities. Hockey line change for the Bears, just about. Skinner, Alleman, and Saxton come in. Wakely into Keller. Keller for three. Keller makes the three. First points of the night on the count for Keller from the three-point line. And it's 5-3. Skinner with it, looking for Alleman. Instead, she goes up top to Wells. Wells drives the lane all the way in. A little bit too hard. Alleman with the rebound. She comes back out to Neal in three-point range. Neal runs it down. She'll come over and go to Saxton. Saxton looking inside Alleman, not there. Wells to Neal. Neal going to drive, kick it to Wells. Ball's tipped, but Wells runs it down. Back out to Saxton. 17-second shot clock, so plenty of time. Outside now to Neal, down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. Saxton, had Wells on the pick and roll, couldn't get it to her, but she's fouled. That foul's going to go on Harris. That resets the shot clock, so this has already been a long possession for the Bears, and they'll have a reset shot clock already. So Skinner will trigger right over in front of the Preston student section. And she'll get it in to, it's tipped. Saxton is still on the floor and nobody wants it. Harris now is going to come up with it finally for the Indians. The Indians get the steal. Wakely with it. Going to set up the offense over to Harris. Harris up top to Keller. Keller back to Wakely. Wakely tries to go to Knapp. Neal steps in and takes it away. Neal all the way the other way for a layup. Taisley Neal for gets the steal, gets the layup, and the Bears lead it 7-3. Harris with it still in the backcourt, playing catch with Wakely against the pressure. And they finally get into the front court, just barely avoiding the 10-second runoff. Knapp has her shot blocked by Wells, but Keller gets it back. Keller down the lane. Her shot's no good. This time it's Wells on the rebound. She'll give it to Neal. Neal will bring it to the front court. Crossover dribble. Now she'll go to Wells. Wells will toe it up for three. Miss it. Rebound into the hands of Whiteley, who's checked into the game. So 7-3 Bear Lake. 2:15 left in the first quarter. Bears leading it. Keller on the baseline. She's going to come outside to Wakely. Wakely straight away three. No good. Rebound to Desiree Alleman. So the Bears cleaning up the boards. And then ball stolen away by Harris. And she misses the layup, and Alleman gets it back. This time cleanly to Neal in the front court as Harris got the steal a little bit too hard off the backboard on the layup. And the Bears avoid disaster. And then this time Harris goes for another steal and commits the foul. And that's big because that's number 2 on her. Team 4th. Shaw and Crockett will come in. Wells and Neal will take a seat. And Shaw with the ball for the Bears. Bears have the 4-point lead. 1:45 left in the first quarter. Shaw to Alleman. Alleman's going to get pushed from behind. She'll go to the line. She'll shoot a pair. This one's going to go on Whiteley. That's her first foul, team 5th. So it sends Alleman to the line to shoot a pair. First one, good. And she's got her first point of the night. Bears lead back to 5. Alleman will shoot another one. From the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line, she goes 2 for 2. Jacobson Mountain Air for all your heating and air conditioning needs. The Bears are hot from the foul line to start the night. And ball's tipped out of bounds, and I think that should have been Preston ball, but they say it's Bear Lake basketball. And the Bears come up with the steal. Shaw with the ball. Shaw in 3-point range, bounce it to Alleman. And then Allman's going to look to go back to Shaw. Backdoor cut, just a little bit too far out in front of her. Good idea. Shaw had the step on the baseline, but the pass was a little bit too quick, and she couldn't run it down. And it's a turnover, Bear Lake. Wakely will walk the ball into the front court now. Cross court goes to White, and White loses it, but Allman can't save it. It stays Indian basketball. Wakely will trigger it from the corner baseline. 1:13 remaining in the first quarter, 25-second shot clock. And Wakely is going to come clear up top to Whiteley. Sorry, that's Knapp. Now to White. Now to Keller. Keller around the screen. Goes back to Wakely. 13-second shot clock. Keller straight away. She's going to lob it inside. Too high, too far. Turnover. Preston. Bears defense has allowed one made shot. A three-point shot from Keller is the only shot that has fallen. And a lot of turnovers. I wish I was keeping those stats tonight, because the Bears have forced a lot of turnovers. Saxton for three. No! But rebound to Desiree Allman. She traveled with it. She couldn't quite control it. Great effort. The Bears have yet to make a Phillips 66 U-Save three-point shot in the game. The only one that has gone down in the game, only shot that has gone down in the game at all for Preston has been a three-point shot. And the Bears lead at 9-3 as we go under a minute to play in the first quarter. And it's Julie Saxton knocks it away again, but Keller's going to run it down in the corner. And the ball gets inside to Knapp. Knapp can't get it to go. Rebound tipped and finally controlled by the Indians. That shot is partially blocked, and Desiree Allman comes down with it. She'll get it to Saxton. Bears can work for the last shot of the quarter as the shot clock's off. Only 20 seconds left here in the first quarter. 9-3. Bear Lake in the lead. Skinner with the ball. 14 seconds. Now to Saxton. Saxton back up top to Shaw. We go under 10 seconds. Saxton, Shaw, Skinner, baseline jumper. Yes! Cortland Skinner gets her to go. And at the end of the first quarter, it's 11-3 in favor of your Bear Lake Bears. We'll come back with the second quarter after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both pre-operative and post-operative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on the SVI Sports Network is presented by Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll, here to help. Lenhart Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears. And by KVSI The Wave, the Bear Lake Valley's hit music station on 105.3 FM.
The SVI Sports Network returns now with more live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports.
Holly Wells leading all scorers on your Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. She has 4 points. The Bears outscoring the Preston Indians in the first quarter by a score of 11-3. Bears will have the ball to start the second quarter. The Bears come out with Shaw, Neal, Walker, Crockett, and Wells. The starting lineup on the court for the Bears. Shaw in the corner to Walker. Walker back up to Shaw. 20 seconds on the shot clock. Walker goes baseline inside to Crockett. She loses it, but it goes to Wells. Wells will come back out to Shaw. Shaw thinks about the three. They said she walked. So she pump faked that three. She must have drugged the foot. Gets called for the travel. Turnover for the Bears. They still lead it 11-3 here in the early going of the second quarter. Great defense, only allowing the one made basket in that first quarter. And the Bears cleaned up the boards pretty well. Keller tries another three. She makes another three. The only points of the game for the Preston Indians have been from Keller via the long ball. They've got 2 made three-pointers for her. Walker tries to answer, can't get it to go. Rebound goes right into the hands of Holly Wells, and she gets fouled. First foul of the quarter. Let's see who this one goes on. And it goes on White. Her second. Nelson will check in. Knapp will check out. Bears basketball on the baseline with 7:05 left in the second quarter. Inside to Crockett. Oh, in and out. She had it. I don't even know how that came back out, but Wakely quickly up ahead. Gets it to Keller. And Keller has it knocked away by Wells. Wells saves it inbounds. It's going to be a jump ball. Great play there by Wells to save it. Great play there by Crockett to force the jump ball. It'll be Preston Indian basketball as the Bears have it on the alternate possession at the quarter break. Keller will trigger baseline. And she's looking, still looking. And she'll finally come into Wakely. Wakely is going to drive, go inside, get Wells in the air, no good. And that was Whiteley that shot that and couldn't get it to go. And the rebound goes out of bounds off of Preston. Bear Lake basketball. So 11-6, Bear Lake leads by 5. Shaw in the corner to Walker. Walker cross court to Neal underneath to Crockett. Crockett back out to Shaw. Shaw open for 3, no good. Rebound to Crockett, and then she's tied up by Nelson. It'll stay Bear Lake basketball. As the long ball not going, this has been a trend for both the girls and the boys on the season. The Phillips 66 U-Save 3-point shot has not been the friend of the Bear Lake Bears as Whiteley checks out for the Indians. Ball comes into Wells. She gets it to Walker. Walker can't handle the pass, and it's another jump ball on the floor. So it'll go to the Indians, and that goes as a turnover. And coming back in the game is Marlowe for the Indians, and Whiteley goes out. 6:20 left in the half. 11-6, Bear Lake. Low-scoring affair so far. And Keller down the lane. She'll have to come back outside to Marlowe. Now to Wakely. Wakely throws it through the hands of Marlowe, but it's run down by Keller. Keller has the ball knocked away. It's on the floor. The Indians get it back. Three-pointer on the way. No good. Nelson with the rebound, and she's fouled going up. Holly Wells will draw the foul. Nice rebound and put-back attempt there by Nelson. She'll go to the line. That's her first trip to the line on the night for the Preston Indians, the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line, as it were. 11-6 Bears. 11-7 Bears as Nelson gets it to go. And 4-0 in the quarter in favor of the Indians, but the Bears still had the 4-point lead as they led by 8 to start the quarter. Nelson's second foul shot is no good. And there's a lane violation, so she'll shoot again. The Bears had run down the rebound, but they called the lane violation on Crockett, I think they said, stepped in early. So Nelson will have another chance at it. And she misses this one, and Wells gets the rebound. So it doesn't change the outcome at all. And here's Neal. She's harassed at half court. Bears call timeout. So timeout taken by the Bear Lake Bears. We'll take it. We'll be back in 30 seconds on the SVI Sports Network.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit U-Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with U-Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
The SVI Sports Network returns now with more live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports.
Preston High School, and Neal for 3, no good. Rebound inside is taken down by Keller. Quickly up ahead, she goes to White. White all the way down, loops it up, no good. Rebounds out of bounds off of Preston. So the Bear Lake Bears come down with the ball after the missed three-pointer on one end, missed shot on the other end on the quick transition. Bears have not scored at the quarter, but still lead it on your Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard by a score of 11-7. Shaw into the corner to Walker. Walker cross court to Neal. Neal drives, goes inside to Crockett. Great defense there by Preston, but Preston can't complete the steal. Loses the ball out of bounds as Keller came from behind and knocked it away from Crockett. Walker will trigger baseline. Bears lead it by 4, 11-7, 5:14 left in the first half. Low scoring affair. And Emery Walker is going to come out to Neal. Neal cross court to Shaw. Shaw drives, kicks in the corner to Crockett. Crockett back to Shaw. Shaw will dribble to the top of the key. Now go over to Neal on the elbow. Neal up top to Wells. Shaw's got to get a shot off. She does, and she's fouled. Way to draw the foul. Marlowe can't believe it, but he'll send Sadie Shaw to the foul line. Marlowe drew the foul. Shaw will shoot foul shots. First one is no good. Shaw will have another. 11-7. Bears have yet to score in the quarter. And second foul shot up and no good. And then a foul on the rebound goes to against Wells, her second. So 0 for 2 on that trip to the line for the Bears. The Jacobson Mountain Air foul line not as friendly that time for the Bear Lake Bears. In this low-scoring affair, Keller with it up top, now to Wakely. Wakely inside to Nelson. Nelson back to Wakely. Wakely over to White. White back to Wakely. Over to Marlowe. Marlowe looking for a cutter inside. Instead it goes back to White. 16 seconds on the shot clock. Wakely to Marlowe. Marlowe to Keller up top. She thought about the three. She's going to lob it inside, and Emery Walker will step in and take it away from Nelson. And Shaw into the front court. She accelerates down the lane all the way to the hoop. Pass it, Crockett. Crockett up and in. The defense collapsed on Shaw. Crockett gets the easy do. Shaw with the assist, 13-7. Bears lead back to 6. It was 8 at the quarter. It's 6 right now. White goes to Wakely. Wakely back to White, still on the elbow. White dribbles across, harassed there by Neal. She'll go to Nelson. Nelson out to Keller. Keller is going to be a timeout called. Keller was starting her drive, but they call a 30-second timeout. We'll take a 30-second timeout on the SVI Sports Network.
Here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, we have the honor of having a great radiology team. They've been recognized at the state level of being the best in their field. In our radiology department, we are able to provide MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, mammograms, ultrasound, echocardiograms, nuclear medicine, and DEXA scans.
Live coverage of local high school sports continues now on the SVI Sports Network.
Bear Lake Bears lead it 13-7 on your Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. 17-second shot clock, 3:55 game clock here in the second period. And Wakely will walk the ball into the front court for the Indians. They'll set the play up following the timeout. White up top to Keller. Keller's going to lob it underneath, too high and out of bounds. It was intended for Whiteley, who checked in at the timeout, but she can't handle the pass, and it goes into the hands of the Bear Lake Bears. So Neal nearly had it taken away, but gets it over to Skinner. Skinner cross court to Saxton. Saxton to Neal. Bears made a couple substitutions, 3 substitutions there at the dead ball. Skinner with it up top. She'll go to Wells. Wells to Skinner. Skinner, no good. Rebound by Keller. So Shaw, Walker, and Wells. Sorry, not Wells. Crockett checked out. Skinner, and there's a quick turnover on the other end. Skinner, Alleman, and Saxton check in. So Neal with it. And now Saxton up top to Skinner. Skinner over to Wells. Inside to Skinner. Skinner is going to be fouled. And that foul's going to go on. Make sure they're Whiteley. Wiley gets her third. That's why I was double checking there to make sure that's who it was going to go on. Wiley's third. Skinner comes out. Walker comes in for it. Skinner looks like she maybe got a knee or something popped just a little bit. Nothing serious. She says she's okay, but she'll come to the bench for just a second. So Walker quickly back in for her. Walker up top to Neal. We're under 3 minutes to play in the quarter. And inside to Allman. Allman up and in. Desiree Allman just muscles it up and in over Whiteley. And the Bears back to an 8-point lead at 15-7. Ball's taken away by Saxton and then taken back by Preston. But they're going to call a foul on Wakely. That's her second. And that is the team fourth. So it'll be Bear Lake basketball. As Saxton just took the ball away, and as she started to dribble into the front court, she was fouled by Wakely. So Bear Lake basketball up by 8 with 2.5 minutes left to go in the first half. Neal with it up top. She'll go to Saxton. Saxton to Wells. Wells in the corner to Walker. Walker to Saxton inside. She'll kick it out to Neal. Neal will shoot for 3. Yes! There's a Phillips 66 USAV 3-point make by Taisley Neal. Bears lead at 18-7. As Taisley Neal gets the first Phillips 66 USAV 3-pointer to go of the game for the Bears. Quick three at the other end, no good. But the rebound to Nelson. Nelson gets the rebound, the easy putback. As 18-9. Phillips 66 USAV, where your convenience is our pleasure, sponsoring the 3-point makes. Allman has the ball knocked away from her and out of bounds. Would have been an easy bucket there if she would have been able to maintain possession as Shaw and Crockett come back in. Neal and Wells go to the bench. Bears to inbound baseline. Walker looking. She'll go to Allman. Allman loses it on the floor but picks it back up. She'll get it out to Saxton. Saxton long 2 on the way. Yes! Julie Saxton gets about an 18-footer. She needed to be 18.5 feet to be a 3-point shot. Just barely inside the line, but the Bears lead is 20-9 as Keller can't get the shot to go. Rebound to the Bears. Shaw into the front court. Bears lead is 11. Walker with it. She goes to Crockett. Crockett to Allman. Allman for the baseline jumper. No good long, but Walker steals away the rebound and then gets it to Allman, who misses again, but Allman's going to get her own rebound, go to Crockett. Crockett will shoot. She'll miss, and rebound is going to be finally taken out of there by Knapp. Bears had plenty of opportunities there. Couldn't get him to go. And the Indians bring the ball in the front court. Keller and White playing catch with it. Inside it goes to Knapp. Knapp gets it back outside to White. Pump fake, shoots the 3. No good. Rebound to Crockett. She'll go to Saxton. The Bears bring the ball in the front court as we go under a minute left in the half. Bears up by 11. And with the basketball as we near the end of the first half. And Sadie Shaw drug her pivot foot, they said, as she was making the pass. Commits the turnover. 9-second difference between the game clock and the shot clock. So the Bears will get the ball back at least one time with the 11-point lead here in the first half. Wakely dribbles down in the corner. Now she's going to come back to Keller. Keller dribbles across. Cut off by Shaw. And they're going to call a foul on Shaw as she stepped in front of Keller there. She'll come out of the game, and Neal will check back in. Only the third team foul, so no shots here. But that does turn off the shot clock. Now the Indians can work for the last shot of the half if they want. Only 32 seconds left till halftime. Wakely drives, kicks it to Keller. Keller looks inside, wide open to Marlowe. Nice pass, and Marlowe gets the easy bucket. The Bears now can take the last shot if they want to with 16 seconds left till halftime. Neal will dribble down and go to Walker. Walker out to Saxton. Saxton's pass is going to go over her head, the head of Allman, and down the other end, Wakely gets the 2, so the last 4 points of the first half go to the Preston Indians, and the score at halftime is 20-13 as the Bears give up 4 quick ones in the last 30 seconds of the half, but still go into halftime with a 7-point lead here on the SVI Sports Network. We're going to take a 2-minute break. We'll catch our breath. We'll come back with some halftime stats right after this.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
With the helpful hardware, folks.
Bear Lake Dental in Montpelier is where kindness and dentistry meet. Our friendly, talented team have years of experience in providing compassionate service and high-quality dental care. Dr. Micah Himmerick, Dr. Monty Weston, and a full staff of dental experts are here to help you create a new smile. Visit Bear Lake Dental at 215 South 4th Street in Montpelier. Online at bearlakeddental.com or give us a call at 208-847-0153. Bear Lake Dental, creating happy, beautiful smiles.
We take all the decisions and explain them and make it easier for everybody to understand.
We bring a uniqueness to it, and we try to make sure everything is positive and happy and people have a good experience.
People come in and sign the papers and they leave and they're happy, they get the cows. I like that.
When we hand you that deed to your home, there's not going to be anything that's going to come up later that's going to hurt.
Bear Lake Drug in Montpelier is your full-service pharmacy, including prescription refills and medications. Bear Lake Drug also offers services such as rapid strep test, rapid influenza test, and medication synchronization. Ask your pharmacist for more details at Bear Lake Drug on Washington Street in Montpelier. Visit BearLakeDrugID.com. That's BearLakeDrugID.com. It's your local drugstore and a whole lot more. Bear Lake Drug.
Your leader for live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports. This is the SVI Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Insert Your Sponsorship here halftime show on the SVI Sports Network. The Bear Lake Bears lead the Preston Indians by a score 20-13 because Preston made a little bit of a comeback there. Right at the end of the half, scored 4 quick points in the last about 20 seconds of the half. The Bears defense was stout, only allowed 9 points up to that point. Only allowed 3 points in the entire first quarter, 10 in the second. Bears led it 11-3 after 1. They lead it 20-13 after 2. And scoring for the Preston Indians, Keller has 6, Nelson has 3, Marlowe with 2, and Wakely with 2. And that's all your scoring for the Preston Indians. And they're doing a halftime shootout. And I'm not sure what he's going to win, but he's got to make a 3-point shot here in 3 seconds, and he misses. He's going to get one more shot off almost, and he missed it anyway. So he doesn't win, similar to what we do in Bear Lake. But
I think they said the winner gets $100. So if you make a free throw, lay up a free throw and a 3-point shot, you get $100.
And it's Alta Bank, and I think it has to be a student, is the way I think it works over there. Anyway, so that's it for the scoring. Just 13 points, They have 2 3-point makes on the night. The Phillips 66 USA 3-point line, they have 2 of those. And from the Jacobs Mountain Air foul line, 1 out of 2. They only went to the foul line the one time, did the Preston Indians in the first half. Bear Lake, very balanced first half of scoring. Neal with 5, Alleman with 4, Wells with 4, Skinner with 2, Shaw with 1, Saxon with 2, Crockett with 2. So everybody pretty much got in the scoring column there. And Emery Walker did not, but her defense has been a difference maker in this game. Only one Phillips 66 USAVE 3-point make on the night. That was Taisley Neal right there just before the end of the half. She did get the 3 to go. And the foul line, 5 out of 8 for 62%. They started 5 out of their first 6 and then missed their final 2. But 5 out of 8 for 62% from the foul line. Foul trouble, not an issue. Wells does have 2, but the Bears only committed a total of 4 fouls in the first half. On the other side of things, Whiteley has 3, Wakely has 2, and Harris has 2 for the Indians. And bad news for Preston listeners, Romney, who started the game for Preston and went down early with an injury, she came back out of the locker room but has not come back on the floor, and it looked like she had her knee brace off, so that's not good news. Doesn't look like she's going to come back in the game. Hope she's okay. Hope it's nothing serious, as she went down early in the game. I think it was non-contact. I think it happened away from the ball, so hopefully she'll be okay. You never like to see anybody get hurt. So anyway, that's the halftime stats. Not much to talk about where the scoring has been so low. It's just been a defensive battle. That's been the story of this Bear Lake team all year. Nate, what are you seeing out there?
I'm seeing a great defensive game here. If you're Coach Ken Wells going into halftime, you're really happy with how your defense has performed. Besides a couple of shots, kind of shutting Preston down. 13 points and a half, you're always going to be happy with that defensive output. Defense obviously comes first, and if they can hold Preston to 13 points in the second half, I mean, all you've got to do is score 8 points to win this game. So you've got to be happy with the defensive side. I think offensive side, you're trying to draw up a few different plays to get the ball in the hole. 20 points at halftime, not an issue. Like, as long as you're scoring more points than the other team and you're playing good defense, that's fine. But you're obviously going to want to go out into the second half and put this game away fast if you can. So probably looking to clean up the turnovers and just play to win.
Keep playing Bear Lake basketball.
Bear Lake basketball. Keep finding open looks and just take care of the ball. Make free throws as well. I mean, there was a good free throw percentage there for a stretch, and then there was a few.
Yeah, 5 out of the first 6 and 0 for the last 2. But
so it's still a pretty good percentage, but I'm sure you're looking to improve that as well in the second half.
So the Bears back out on the court for halftime warm-ups. The Indians haven't come back out of the locker room yet, and 20-13 is your score. Bears defense is just, you can't say enough about it. When I said it, my key to the game at the beginning of the game is just play Bear Lake basketball, and what Bear Lake basketball is defense. And Emery Walker was kind of my highlight defensively in that first half, especially to start the game. She set a tone. She had 3 or 4 steals and tipped balls in the first half dozen possessions for Preston, and just kind of set the tone.
Well, and we talk about it a lot. Impact on a game doesn't always come from total points. Emery Walker is one of those kinds of people to me. Doesn't necessarily put up a ton of points all the time. Has the ability to put up points.
She had 13 in the game this year, but you're exactly right.
Well, yeah, she has the ability to put up points, but she's also more important than that. It's defense, it's rebounds, it's just tough plays out there, being physical, big physical presence inside. Yeah, she
this is her second game this year that I would say she's one of the highlights for me. And she had 0 points on the scoreboard in that other one. And then the one game that she scored a ton. She can contribute in a lot of ways, like a lot of these girls can. Shaw, obviously so important to this Bear Lake team on both sides of the ball. She only has 1 point tonight, and the Bears have a very comfortable lead. It's a balanced attack, and Desiree Allman has had a great first half rebounding the ball. Just Hallie Wells with her rebounds, Peyton Crockett with the rebounds. They just all contribute in so many ways. Points are just a very small part of it. And the Bears lead by 7. That's the score that matters, is 20-13. We'll come back with second quarter action right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Our PT department is comprised of physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. We also have pelvic floor that we do. Physical therapy helps in multiple settings. They assist in the skilled nursing facility, the manor, the home health, along with helping out with both preoperative and postoperative. Make sure that you have the best outcome with your surgery and your way of life going forward.
Live coverage of Bear Lake High School sports on the SVI Sports Network is presented by Flying S Title and Escrow, whatever it takes. Stephen Hammond Dental, local family dentistry. Gary Tusher CPA, bookkeeping, tax returns, and payroll, here to help. Lenhart Beverages, proud to support the Bear Lake Bears. And by KVSI The Wave, the Bear Lake Valley's hit music station on 105.3 FM.
Bear Lake basketball to start the second half. Bears lead it by a score 20-13. Shaw quickly into the front court with it. She'll go to Wells on the foul line, around the screen. Nice pick and roll to Crockett, but she is fouled as she goes up with it. She'll go to line. What a play there by Bear Lake. And Wells found Crockett. Wakely had no choice but to commit the foul, or she was going to give up the easy bucket. The bad news is for the Indians is that is her third foul. First foul shot by Crockett is good. Bears lead back to 8. Crockett will have one more from the foul line. And she goes 2 for 2. The Bears are up to 7 out of 10 on the night, 70% from the foul line. And coming into the front court with it are the Indians. Wakely to Harris. Harris for 3, no good. Rebound to Taisley Neal. Neal goes to Shaw. The Bears in their 9-point lead come into the front court. And Wells going to go cross court to Neal. Open for 3, no good. Wells will rebound and spin, move up and in. What a move. Hallie Wells, that was impressive. The putback goes. Bears lead is 11. And pass is errant, but gets into the hands of Wakely anyway. In the corner to Marlowe. Marlowe going to drive. Nice screen there by Nelson, but then a blocked shot by Wells, and then Nelson commits the foul as Walker had the rebound. Her first foul, second foul of the quarter already. We've only got a minute, not even a full minute gone, and the Indians have already committed 2 fouls. The Bears have already scored 4 points. The Bears lead it by a score 24-13. Hallie Wells' defense right there to get that steal, and then the rebound by Walker right on the baseline to draw the foul was impressive. Nice pick, cut by Walker, up and in. Emery Walker, what a shot. We praised her and her defense at halftime. She comes out and puts that shot in to get the points, and then a foul on Peyton Crockett at the other end. So that will send Keller to the line. Keller leads the scoring for the Indians. She has 6 on 2 long balls in the first half. Her first foul shot is no good. And she'll have one more. With 6:36 left in the third quarter, Bears doubling up the Indians, lead it by a score 26-13. And the second foul shot also missed. Up ahead to Walker. Walker to Neal. Neal to Shaw. Shaw will look for the cutter. Ball's tipped away, but Walker runs it down anyway. She gets it to Crockett, but it's tipped away. It goes to Wells. Wells, nice spin move, finds herself all alone. She'll go to Shaw. Shaw drives the lane, no good, but it gets it to Crockett. Crockett back to Shaw. Shaw to Walker. Walker over to Wells. Wells drives baseline, and the ball's knocked out of bounds. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. 6-second shot clock. Lots of great ball movement for the Bears, but they just couldn't get a clean look at the hoop as the Indians got their hands on a couple of those balls, tipped it just enough to make it so that by the time the ball did get to the Bears, they didn't have a clean look at it. Into Shaw. Shaw in the corner to Walker. Walker shoots. No good. She thought it was later in the shot clock than it was. Rebound to Preston. And then collision at midcourt. Keller is going to go all the way down and score. Keller gets 2. She's got 8, and the Bears lead is 11. Quickly up ahead to Shaw. Shaw cross court to Walker. Walker goes inside to Crockett. She was open, didn't know it. Instead, she goes back out to Walker. Walker misses it, but Wells tips it into Neal. Neal goes back out to outside. Shaw down the lane. It's knocked away from her. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. 30-second shot clock. 5.5 game clock in the third quarter. Bears lead it by a score 26-15. Bears have the ball. Baseline. Substitution coming in. Whiteley is going to replace Marlowe for the Indians. Walker with the ball baseline. She tries to lob it into Wells. It's tipped right back out of bounds by Wakely. It'll be Bear Lake basketball again. No time off the clock. And Walker will again. Inbound baseline. Bears will set up a play. And this one's kicked by Wakely. So twice, Walker's tried to inbound it. Twice, Wakely is put it right back to her, but it's just Bear Lake basketball again. This time, the lob up top to Wells. Wells will bring it over and dribble handoff to Neal. Neal to Shaw. Shaw down the lane, hands it to Walker. Walker to the hoop. No good. Rebound to Nelson. And quickly down court, it goes to Harris. Harris tries to go to the hoop with it. She is fouled. No shot. She was on the ground. I think that one's going to go on Neal. That would be her first foul of the game. Second foul of the quarter. So it'll be Preston ball, baseline. And Shaw tries to step inside to steal the pass, but Nelson gets it right back to Wakely, and Wakely makes the 2-point shot. So 4 straight points for the Indians to cut the lead back to 9. Shaw down the lane, bounces to Neal. Neal to Wells at the foul line, back to Neal. 3-point shot on the way, and good. Taisley Neal with another Phillips 66 U-save, 3-point make, and just like that, Preston fought back into it, cut the lead down to 9, and it's back to 12. Keller all the way to the hoop, nice move, but it doesn't go. Nelson with the rebound. Her shot on the putback is blocked, and the rebound to Neal. So Bears lead by 12. They have the ball, and Shaw with the ball in the front court now. She'll dribble all the way baseline, and they say she dribbled out of bounds. She thought she had drawn a foul, and instead it just goes as a turnover. And Wakely will bring the ball into the front court. Bears with the 12-point lead. It's 29-17. And even though it's only 12 points, it feels like a lot more than that because of shots like that, where Hallie Wells gets the rejection. Knapp comes in for Nelson for the Preston Indians. Preston will maintain possession as that block shot went out of bounds. Comes into Keller, back to Wakely. Wakely gets it to White. Lob underneath to Knapp, and her shot is no good. She was too far under. Neal will come away with it, and she throws it out of bounds off of Whiteley. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. Smart move there by Neal. So Saxton, Skinner, and Alleman check in for the Bears. Walker, Crockett, and Shaw go to the bench. Neal will bring it in the front court. She'll lob it in the corner to Saxton. Saxton long 2 on the way. Left it short. Rebound to Whiteley. Here comes Harris with the basketball. She'll dribble down, go in the corner to Keller. Keller launches the 3 from the corner. No good. Rebound to Cortland Skinner. Comes flying in for the rebound. And she'll get it up ahead to Neal. Neal to Alleman. Alleman down the lane. Up and in. She's fouled. Count it. Desiree Alleman with a strong move to the hoop with the left hand. Gets the shot to go. She'll go to the line with a chance for a 3-point play. Keller picks up the foul. And Alleman will go to the foul line. She'll have a chance to make the 3-point play. Bears lead it by 14 at 31-17. Alleman's foul shot no good. And Preston with the rebound. Wakely will bring it in front court. 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter in a 31-17 game. Bears lead it. Wakely goes inside to Knapp. Knapp will have to come back outside to Harris. Harris for 3. Banks it in. The bank is open on a late Friday night for Harris from 3. The 3-point shots are keeping Preston reasonably close in this game. Wells has the ball knocked away from her. She gets it back, and she's fouled. Let's see who they call this one on. That one's going to go on Whiteley. That's her 4th foul. Cortland Skinner will inbounds. 35-second shot clock, 3:05 game clock in the third quarter. And she gets it into Alleman. Up strong with it, but it's too hard off the backboard. No good. Wakely quickly up ahead to Keller. Keller misses. Oh, rebound. And Harris came down hard. And I'm glad she got up as quick as she did. She hit the ground hard enough. They stopped the play because they thought she was hurt. And I'm glad she got right back up. She'll stay in the game. Whiteley checks out during that dead ball. It's blue basketball, and Bears had numbers, but I'm okay with them blowing it dead because that looked like it could have been serious the way she hit the floor right there. So Saxton with it, and ball's knocked away, but Neal will get it, and then she's fouled. Keller draws her third. The fifth team. That'll send Taisley Neal to the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line. Taisley Neal has got the only 2 Phillips 66 U-Save 3-point makes for the Bear Lake Bears, and now she's at the Jacobson Mountain Air foul line. Jacobson Mountain Air for all your heating and air conditioning needs in the Bear Lake Valley. And she misses the first. She'll have another. The Bears' lead is 11 at 31-20. And Neal misses them both. Desiree Allman, though, comes in and grabs the rebound. And Neal will set the offense to Saxton. Saxton back to Neal. Now to Wells at the top of the key. Dribble handoff to Saxton. Saxton double dribbled. She caught it on her hip. She didn't mean to stop her dribble. It just caught on her hip there, and she commits the turnover. So 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Bears lead by 11 by a score of 31-20. And Keller cross court to Harris. Harris in the corner to White. Now to Wakely. Straight away. 3-point shot, no good. Rebound, though, to Keller. And ball's knocked away from her, and it's out of bounds off of Preston. Nice effort there by Wakely. She goes into the stands to try to save it. But it'll be Bear Lake basketball. Shaw and Crockett will come back into the game. And checking out will be Neal and Wells. So the Bears lead it by 11. They have the ball. In the corner, goes to Skinner. Skinner drives baseline. Ball's knocked away from her, but out of bounds. She was trying to get it to Crockett. It'll be Bear Lake basketball baseline with the 24-second shot clock. Skinner to Trigger. She'll come into Allman. Allman underneath, up and in. Desiree Allman, she's so strong. When she gets the ball back close to the hoop, she's going to get the shot away. And she has 8 points on the night. Wakely down the lane, nice move, gets it back out, kicks it back outside. Missed there, though, by White. And the rebound to Allman. Quickly up ahead to Shaw. Shaw's going to drive, corner to Skinner. Skinner for 3, no good. Rebound taken down by Knapp. Good look there for Skinner, but it doesn't go. And the Bears still have the 13-point lead on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard as Wakely has it now for Preston. And she'll drive, dribble handoff to White. White comes clear across to the top of the key. She goes down the lane, kicks it back out to Wakely. Wakely cross court to Harris. Harris spins down the lane. She'll have to go in the corner to Keller. Keller lobs to Knapp, out of bounds. And Nelson will check back in. Knapp will take a seat. 13-point Bear Lake lead with 1:11 left to go in the third quarter as the Bears bring the ball into the front court, leading by 13. Sadie Shaw dribbles past pressure, and she gets it back out to Skinner. Allman to Skinner. Skinner back out to Allman, quickly to Shaw. Shaw quickly to Saxton. Saxton quickly for 3, no good. Rebound to Allman, up and in. Desiree Allman, strong rebound. Made it look easy once she secured the rebound. And the Bears lead is 15 at 35-20. Under 40 seconds to play. Harris goes all the way down the lane and travels with it. Crockett was just standing there. Harris ran into her and lost the ball. Turnover. Bear Lake basketball. There's a 1.7 second difference between shot clock and game clock. So Bears can take pretty much one shot left, but this Preston will have at least a second left. As the Bears come into the front court with a 15-point lead. Skinner. Cross court to Allman. Allman out to Saxton. Saxton to Shaw. Shaw drives the lane and misses, but it goes to Crockett. Crockett goes out to Saxton. Skinner drives the lane. Her floater up, no good. Guess what? Allman with the rebound. She gets it back out to Shaw. Shaw to Saxton. Saxton to Crockett. Crockett, her pass is knocked away. It's going to go out of bounds. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. 7.6 seconds left. There is only 6 seconds on the shot clock. So the Bears will have to get one off quickly here. And I thought that shot hit the rim, but they did not reset the shot clock. Shaw goes down the lane, has the ball knocked away from her. It's up ahead to Wakely. Wakely doesn't get it off. And the third quarter ends with the Bears up by 15, 35-20. We'll be back with the fourth quarter right after this on the SVI Sports Network.
Ready, set, 12 days, 10 venues, 1 van. Client presentation starting in 4 minutes. Living your best midlife crisis. Rerouting. There's go in everything you do. That's why Phillips 66 is there to fuel all the ways you go, go, go.
Visit You Save Phillips 66 in Montpelier for fuel, snacks, and more. Live to the full with You Save Phillips 66, where your convenience is our pleasure.
Here at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, we have the honor of having a great radiology team. They've been recognized at the state level of being the best in their field. In our radiology department, we are able to provide MRIs, CT scans, X-rays, mammograms, ultrasound, echocardiograms, nuclear medicine, and DEXA scans.
This is your home for Bear Lake Bears basketball, live on SVI Media and The Wave, all a part of the SVI Sports Network.
We are back for the fourth quarter. The Bears will come out with Wells, Crockett, Walker, Neal, and Bamey. Bamey out there for the first time on the night. Bears lead it by 15 as we go into the fourth quarter. Wakely in the corner, Harris step back 3, no good. Rebound to White, her putback is no good. Rebound to Keller, her putback no good. Again with the rebound, again with the putback. This time it goes. Keller working hard, gets the putback. She has 8, leads the scoring column for the Preston Indians. The leading for the Bears is Desiree Allman. She has 10. Oh, Keller has 10 now. They were slow putting that up there. Crockett with it inside. She tries to get it to Walker. Walker gets it over to Wells. And then she travels with it. Just took one extra step. So turnover on the first possession for the Bears. But they lead it by 13. They outscored the Indians by a score of 15-7 in that third quarter to lead it 35-22. Harris with it in the front court. Gets it to Keller. Keller gets it to White in the corner to Wakely. Wakely's 3, good. Count it. She's fouled. Chance for a 4-point play. So they're going to say the foul goes on Crockett. So the score, it was a 15-point lead to start the quarter. It's already down to 10. She can cut it to single digits right here as Wakely goes to the foul line. And she misses, and the rebound goes out of bounds. It'll be Bear Lake. Oh, no, they're going to say Preston basketball. So Preston has a chance to complete at least a 5-point play if they can get a shot here, as they made the 3-point shot and got the ball back off the rebound. So they've already cut into the lead by 5 to start the quarter. Only a minute gone, and the 15-point lead is down to 10. White has the ball knocked away from her. But it goes back to the Indians and goes into the hands of Wakely, who misses the 3. Neal will secure the rebound, and the Bears will bring it into the front court. And she gets it to Wells. And nearly a turnover there. Wells secures it, and the Bears set up the offense with 23 seconds on the shot clock. Wells up top to Bamey. Bamey double teamed, and she's going to get it to Walker. Walker is going to get it to Wells on the lob. Wells fumbles it, but wide open to Bamey. Bamey baseline jumper. Yes, long 2 for Bamey. And a timeout taken by Preston. 6:06 left in the game. Bears up by 12, 37-25. It's a 60-second timeout here on the SVI Sports Network.
When it's time for a brake job, go with Napa Silent Guard. Built with fiber-reinforced shims and rubber-coated hardware that reduce noise and provide an exact fit for the life of the pad. Available now at Napa. Give your engine the attention it deserves with Napa Full Synthetic Engine Oil. Its advanced formulation delivers faster flow and temperature protection in the harshest driving conditions, elevating engine performance by helping it run cleaner, longer. Available now at Napa.
Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware, folks. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Back here to live action after the timeout. Wakely gets it to Harris. Now to Nelson in the corner to Keller. Keller inside to Harris, and she's fouled right very quickly there by Crockett. Crockett picks up her third. Shaw will check in for the Bears. And I think Taisley Neal is going to get a seat. So Neal checks out, Shaw checks in. Bears lead is 12. That's the second foul of the quarter already on Bear Lake. Ball comes clear up top to Nelson. Nelson now to White. White to Harris. And they'll set the offense. 30-second shot clock. 5:44 left in the game as White dribbles to the top. She'll now go down the lane, lose the ball. Wells will get it ahead to Shaw. Shaw's going to go all the way in. Have her shot blocked by Nelson. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. Nelson did a good job not to draw the foul, but to block the shot so that the Bears just reset the offense. 31-second shot clock. 5:34 on the game clock. Quickly into Bamey. Bamey misses the three. Looked good. And it quickly up ahead to Harris. Harris will run it down and come back to Keller near midcourt. And with 5:20 in the game, Wakely will set the Preston offense. Nelson to Harris in the corner to White. White will have to bring it back out. Harris dribbles clear across, goes to Wakely. Wakely tries to go inside to Keller, tipped, but it gets it to Keller. Then Wakely will shoot the three. Miss it. White gets the rebound in the corner, but she says she stepped baseline. And Walker had the steal anyway on the inbound, so it was going to be Bear Lake ball one way or the other. As White tried to save it inbounds and went into the hands of Emery Walker. Shaw will bring the ball into the front court. Gets it to to Wells in the corner. Walker. Walker shoots the three, no good. Keller with the rebound and a quick foul on Bamey. I thought they were going to call the jump ball. Instead, they called a foul. That is the third foul of the fourth quarter for the Bear Lake Bears. 37-25 Bears lead by 12. They led by 15 to start the quarter. They lead by 12 now, nearly halfway through the quarter, as Harris brings the ball across the midcourt line. And she now gets it to Keller. Keller gets it to Wakely. Wakely squares for three, and the fake is open again from three for the Preston Indians. That's two banked-in three-pointers in this game. They call a 30-second timeout as they just cut the lead to 9. We'll keep it right here as we just took a timeout a second ago. 4:34 left in the game. Taisley Neal set to check in for the Bear Lake Bears. And looks like she'll replace Bamey, so the Bears will have their starters on the court as we head down to the last 4.5 minutes of the game. The 15-point lead down to 9. 37-28, Bear Lake still in the lead, but just 4:34 left in the game. As we come back out, Bears will have the ball. Possession arrow points to the Bear Lake Bears if there is a jump ball. And the Bears do have their starting lineup on the court right now as they allowed the Preston Indians to kind of fight back in this one a little bit, cut the 15-point lead down to 10. And Shaw will bring the ball into the front court. Going to be some half-court pressure applied by Preston. Shaw dribbles through it, gets it to Walker. Walker has the ball knocked away from her, but it's out of bounds. Stays with the Bears. Walker will inbound on the side over there. Get it to Shaw. And with 25 seconds left on the shot clock, the Bears set the offense. Shaw bounce pass to Wells. Wells down the lane with it. She gets it in the corner to Neal. Shaw in three-point range will back it out. Into Wells. Wells over to Shaw. Shaw to Wells to Shaw. 5 seconds on the shot clock as Shaw goes down the lane. She's blocked, but she's fouled, and that goes on Wakely. That'll be her 4th. Shaw will go to line. She'll shoot 2 as Skinner and Alleman are set to check in. So Wakely now with 4 fouls. Shaw's foul shot is good. Skinner and Alleman check in. Crockett and Walker check out. And Alleman, who has had a monster game tonight, back out there for the Bears. And Shaw goes 2 for 2. And the lead is back to 11 at 39-28 as Wakely brings the ball into the front court, quickly up ahead to Keller. Keller is going to drive baseline and throw it off of Alleman, but it goes right back into the hands of Keller, who was standing out of bounds at that point. So it goes as a turnover. Just great trap defense set up there by the Bears as Shaw will bring the ball into the front court, gets it ahead to Skinner. Skinner will go back to Shaw. The Indians are trying to set up a trap, but the Bears are dribbling through it. Now Neal to Shaw. Now back to Neal. Back to Shaw. Skinner and Wells. Inside to Shaw. Shaw up and no good. Rebound. Both 2 Bear Lake Bears had it. They knocked it away, and White comes down with it. Harris into the front court. She gets it to Keller. We're under 3:10 to play as White dribbles baseline, gets cut off there, gets it into Knapp, but it's knocked away from her and right back to White. And back out to midcourt to Keller. 15-second shot clock as Wakely resets the offense. Wakely goes across to Harris, open for a long 3, no good. Shaw with the rebound. And she goes to Alleman, right back to Shaw and Wells for the easy layup. There was a collision at midcourt, and Harris went down, so the Bears had a 5-on-4 and capitalized to push the lead back to 13 at 41-28. And then that ball's knocked away and out of bounds. It'll stay Preston basketball. Nelson will replace Knapp. So starters on the court for the Bears, mostly the starters on the court for Preston, except for Romney, who went down early in the game and has not come back. She went down with an injury. Inside it goes to Nelson. She gets Wells in the air but can't make the shot, and Wells will secure the rebound. And the Bears have the ball. Bears have the 13-point lead. 2:20 left. Quickly up ahead to Skinner. Skinner for 3. No good. Wells will tip the ball out of bounds on the rebound. Marlowe will check in, and Keller will check out. Walker checks in. Skinner checks out for Bear Lake. So the Bears lead it by 13 with 2:15 left to go in this one. Desiree Alleman leading the Bear Lake scorers with 10. White into the corner to Wakely. Now back to White. She dribbles across, goes to Marlowe on the foul line. She'll come back out, and she's fouled. They're going to call Shaw with the reach-in foul. Shaw was trying to get the steal, and instead commits the foul. 4th team foul, so Preston will shoot the rest of the way. 1:59 left. Bears lead it by 13 at 41-28. Into Harris, now to White. White with the 3. No good. Rebound goes to Wells. Wells is tied up quickly. Jump ball. The possession arrow points to Bear Lake. So with 1:53 left, Bears will have the ball, and they have the 13-point lead. And Preston will try to set up the trap. Shaw gets it ahead quickly to Neal. Neal tries to go inside to Wells. It's knocked out of bounds by Nelson. It'll be Bear Lake basketball. So Bears maintain possession. 1:44 game clock. 27-second shot clock. Bears up by 13. Wells goes inside to Alleman. Spin move up. No good, but the rebound to Walker. She spins it up and in. Emery Walker cleans up the boards and gets the bucket. And the Bears lead is back to 15, just like that. White to Harris to Wakely. Wakely to Harris. Harris is going to drive, go to White. White drives baseline and up and no good. Rebound to Nelson, up and no good. Rebound foul. And Nelson will be the shooter. Neal will commit the foul. Sends Nelson to the line. She'll shoot 2. Second foul on Neal. 1:18 left in the game. Bears up by 15. Nelson misses that one. She'll have one more. And it's 43-28 as Nelson to the line for her second foul shot. It is up and no good. Rebound. Taken down by Nelson. She'll bring it out to Wakely. Now to White. And up top, Neal takes it away. And then Neal is going to go to Wells. Is knocked away by Harris. Quickly up ahead to Nelson. And she makes it. The foul on Walker. So Nelson gets it to go. Walker commits the foul. 3-point play opportunity here as Walker commits the foul. 30. Bears lead is 13. And Nelson at the line for a foul shot. She missed 2 just a minute ago. And she gets this one to go. So she gets the 3-point play. And the score is 43-31. Bears up by 12. Walker to Wells. And they say she walked with it. 49 seconds left. Bears lead is 12, but it's Preston Indian basketball. Preston refusing to completely go away, but the Bears pretty secure. Should get the win here as Nelson goes up with it. Misses the layup. And then Neal comes down with the rebound. She'll give it to Alleman. Alleman to Wells. Wells, the tallest girl on the court, will bring the ball into the front court, and she's fouled by Harris. Harris is third, but it's only the second team foul in the fourth quarter. But that turns the shot clock off. The Bears can run the clock out if Preston chooses not to foul, if they so choose. 43-31. Bears in the lead. Bears with the ball. And 32 seconds left on the clock. No shot clock. And Bears can just end the game with the ball in their hands, which is what they're going to try to do. Wells out near the 3-point line. Now to Shaw. And foul on Wakely. That'll be 5. She'll foul out. So a 15.9. That's still only the third, so it's not even shooting foul yet. So Wakely fouls out. Whiteley checks in for her. 43-31, 15.9. Bears basketball. Bears lead on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital scoreboard. Ball comes into Wells and into Alleman. Alleman up with it. No good, but she's fouled. She'll go to the line. She'll shoot 2. Let's see who this one goes on. And they're going to say that one's on White. That is her first, team fourth. So with 11.5 seconds left, Desiree Alleman, who has 10 points in the game, will go to the line, try to increase her total. And she does. First one's good. She'll have another. Bears lead is 13. Alleman can make it 14 here. And misses. Rebound to Nelson. Quickly up ahead to Harris. Preston's got to go quickly. And to White. White drives baseline. Bears cut her off. Reverse layup blocked by Wells. Nelson gets the rebound, and her shot's blocked, and that's the end of the game. Bears win it. Final 44-31. The Bears defeat the Preston Indians by 13 here in Preston. And you know, I said it was the way too early to take it serious Max Preps rankings, but the Max Preps had it almost exactly right. I think they said Bear Lake would be favored by 10, if I remember correctly. They win it by 13. And a great win for the Bear Lake Bears on the road. And let's do some quick stats, and then we will hopefully get Coach Wells on the headset. So it's Coach Wells coming on up. Preston, the scoring for Preston. Wakely had 10. Keller had 10. Nelson had 6. 2 for Marlowe. 3 for Harris. The Bears, the Indians score 31 total points in the game. And the stat that kind of was the big stat of the game for me in Coach Wells. Now you got the headset on. My stat that I like, 3 points allowed in the first quarter for your team. You led 11-3 after one.
Yeah, that was nice. It's nice to start out. You know, we were a little rusty, but we had a good defensive plan, and we got after it, so that worked out well.
And great night. Desiree Allman just was a monster inside tonight, rebounding the basketball, and she ended up with 11. Very balanced night. Neal had 8. Wells had 8. Just a balanced effort. 4 from Crockett, 4 from Walker, 2 from Saxton, 3 from Shaw, 2 from Skinner, pretty much almost, and 2 from Bamey. Almost everybody that you put in the game got points. What a balanced effort, and defense led the way. And the other thing, when you play defense the way you did, stands out to me. You only committed 12 fouls in the entire game.
That's pretty good for us. We're usually averaging about 4.5 apiece, it seemed like, in some of those early games, but we had a lot of time to work on stuff and, you know, move our feet, don't hit them. That was one of the big things we worked on for 2 weeks, so we did. We're working on things and we're getting better.
10 out of 17 from the foul line. I'm sure you'd like that one to be a little bit higher, but overall not a bad effort from the foul line. Only 2 3-point makes. You're not shooting the ball extremely well from the outside this year, but you haven't needed to yet.
Yeah, we haven't got any looks, but I doubt we shot it that much. I mean, we probably got a few looks, but I don't think we shot we probably weren't 2 for 25.
So. No, you're not getting a lot of looks out there, and both those were Taisley and Neal that made them both. And you are doing a good job of getting the ball inside when you have Wells, Crockett, and Allman putting up 19, 23 of your points for the game. That's over half your points. That tells you you're getting it inside a lot.
Yeah, you know, it was funny. Right before halftime, we joked about it at halftime in the locker room. We airballed 3 consecutive shots, but unfortunately we rebounded all 3 airballs, and I shot an airball to prove that we could really do it well. So, but it worked out. So
yeah, rebounding was definitely your strength tonight. Now you got next week off.
Yep.
And then you head to the Flaming Gorge Invitational there in Green River, Wyoming. You got 3 games there in 3 days, and that takes you into the Christmas break. Evanston, your first game, I believe, in Flaming Gorge next Thursday. Do you know anything at all about Evanston?
Oh, I know. I saw them at the Cokeville tournament in volleyball, and they were big. So that's all I know. I don't think they can start till this week. So
yeah, that's
Wyoming.
Wyoming does start a little bit later, though. The Flaming Gorge is usually their first games of the season for most of those Wyoming kids.
Yeah, I know. I think there's a few games on the 14th, whatever that. I think the weekend before, and we'll see. We'll see what we can find on them, and if not, we'll go. Just wail into
it. Just go play your basketball. Great start to the season, 5-1. You only lost that overtime loss on the road at Sugar Salem. Good win here tonight against a 5A team. That's going to go a long way to helping your rankings.
Hope so. That's why we play them.
All right, thanks, Coach, and have a good weekend.
Okay, appreciate you guys.
Thanks for coming up.
Bye.
All right, so that's Coach Ken Wells. Bears win it by a final score of 44-31. In control from the beginning, only allowed 3 first quarter points. And so we're just going to, where we don't have any more stats than the scores, which I already gave you, we're going to wrap it up here pretty quickly. Nate, your final thoughts on tonight's game?
Really just a great defensive effort from Bear Lake. Kind of dominated on the defensive side. A lot of good rebounds from the start. You kind of just covered it. I think Bear Lake out-physicaled Preston tonight, and that's the reason they won this game. Offensively, they ended up kind of playing pretty good. I'll take 43 points in a game. But defensively, they really shined tonight, and it was impressive, Jared.
So I like one thing that you said early in the game. It might have been your halftime take that I really liked. You said this team reminds you a lot of the Bear Lake boys team that went back-to-back in football and basketball state champions a couple years ago. A very balanced effort. And I think a different girl has led the team in scoring almost every night. Desiree Allman's turn tonight. Emery Walker was the other night. Hallie Wells has led the team in scoring this year. The Bears are just playing very well, playing good team basketball. Peyton Crockett, I think, led the team in scoring the first night. It's just they all can score. And they all handle the ball well. They all handle pressure well. And tenacious defense, and what a great team effort.
Well, there's no I in team, and I think this team displays that really well. I think everybody's willing to pass the ball. They share the ball a lot. A lot of just great team effort all around typically. You see that with this team all the time. There's no real heroes. It's just a different person's turn every night to be the hero, essentially. I think everybody gets their turn, and honestly, this team impresses me. 5-1 start to the season, like you said, you can't beat that. Excited to see what the season holds, the rest of the season holds for this team.
Yeah, they got a break now. They won't play again, like I said, till they play Evanston on Thursday the 19th, I believe that is, from Green River, Wyoming, at Green River High School. And Bears off to a great start. Boys back on the air tomorrow night as they host the Teton Timberwolves in Bear Lake tomorrow night. So join us for that game. Tip-off at 7. That is a half-hour earlier start. Tip-off at 7. We'll be on the air for the pregame about 6:45 tomorrow night. So for Chris Pratt back in the studio, the excellent cameraman that is Ray Henry, this is
Nate Matthews
and Jared Hillier saying good night, everybody.